was you know, you had a couple guys, I think, in their lineup that wasn't in, and in those matches we scored, you know, a fall in one of them, a tech fall in another one. You know, that's what you're looking for when you know, you're going out and wrestling somebody that, you know, you should be getting some serious bonus points, and that's good to see. You know, it was a good match from the standpoint of the tough ones. We kind of grinded through them and got our hand raised, and I would say, other than 33 or 41, I would say, you know, 49. I think that's a great win for him. You know, I mean, Jeffries is a qualifier for nationals. We all know he's dangerous, and didn't care for the last 30 seconds of the match, you know, but just a real good effort by Caden. 57 was a tough battle. Andrew kind of dug it out and separated the score, and got his hand raised. Just a little bit of mental mistakes, like, you know, letting the guy go at the end of the period, you know, and he's a takedown away from tying it up. 65 did a great job. I thought he came out, got the first takedown, and then just kind of recognized, I need to score again, and he did. Took him to his back, and that's what you're looking for. These matches, you know, big matches, is taking guys from their feet to their back, and that's what Chandler did with his fireman's carry. Jacoby Smith, you know, he scored 18 points, I believe, 19 points. Didn't look like he was conditioned for 19 points. His body kind of looked like it, although he pushed through it, it just didn't seem that things were popping for him. You know, it was a good effort from the standpoint of pushing through it, but I want to see his conditioning level, you know, start to elevate. Every time we see him go out, we need to see an improvement in his conditioning level. So, you know, and good to have Preston Weigel back, right? And it was nice to end with a pin. You know, a couple penetration shots by Derek. You know, that's what we're trying to focus on. Getting underneath the guy, not being afraid to put up points. And he scored 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16. He had 16 points for a heavyweight before he got the pin. You know, I mean, that's, people come back and watch that, right? I mean, they'd like to see the big guys, and our guy just scored 16 points and then flipped him over and pinned him. So good for him.
Did Preston come to you about last Bedlam, I want to wrestle, or
No,
was it just...
no, I just kind of pushed him out there. We need to, you know, we need to figure some things out pretty quickly if he's going to remain healthy for the season. I think he's in a good place right now, but we all know, you know, I think, you know, we all know that he's had some things happen at some tough times, and I think if he stays focused on keeping his body healthy, and you stay focused on keeping your body healthy by every single day, you're staying intense in the workout room. You know, 90% of the time when somebody gets hurt, it's because you let up and something happens, right? So this is his last season, so do it right and let's stay intense.
What's special about continuing the dominance that this program's had in Bedlam?
You know, I don't know what's special about it. Just try losing a couple of them, which I have, and it's long nights and long weeks, and so you appreciate the wins. You know, it is a dual meet we take serious. You know, I've had teams that have gone in. We thought we were favored in 6 or 7, 8 8 matches, and it didn't end up that way. You know, so we take it serious. You know, and our guys love it, and they respect the fact that it is a dual meet that we expect to win.
You mentioned after Wyoming that you were upset with how the seniors performed, and here they are, them and really all of your All-Americans come out here as FPK and put up bonus points. How important was that to see that type of performance from your leaders, essentially?
Well, it was good to see from the standpoint of both 65 and 74. You know, just kind of 74, I just thought he was a little bit fatigued in the mat, and he just kept pushing through. You know, that's tough. You know, that's what you expect. You don't know when you're going to lose your legs or your arms. I mean, what people don't realize about wrestling, I mean, you can be in great shape, and all of a sudden anxiety takes over, and you don't feel your legs and you don't feel yourself. Well, you better get tough then. You know, and I thought that Jacoby did a little of that, just maybe his legs and arms wasn't there, and he got really tough. you know, and scored tough takedowns and even kind of a couple positions upper body where you just kind of bullied through them.
Can you talk about the start that Dayton's had in his first year competing for you guys?
Who?
Fix.
Yeah, Dayton Fix. You know, he has had his season start well. You know, and you know he's a kid from, you know, literally 45 minutes from here, 40 minutes from here, and he grew up around Oklahoma State. And, you know, those guys like Dayton, they've been waiting for that first Bedlam wrestling duel. You know, I mean, they've been thinking about it for a long time. You know, and it's good to see them get in it and then have the success that they wanted. You know, so you know it's just one moment in time for them, but it's special, right? It's special for him, and he made it special by going out and I believe ended up being a Tech Fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tech Fall scored 20 points, 6 minutes and 27 seconds. Pretty dominant,
Right.
for his first match.
Can you talk about where this
Okay.
team is at as far as where you want it to be in the big picture, trying to bring a title back here to Stillwater?
Yeah, I think we're still you know, pretty green in some areas, and we don't point towards at this point we don't point towards maybe a championship trophy. You know, I think this team has got a lot of potential. I mean, as much as any team I've had, and chemistry-wise and effort-wise, that's what's going to bring it together. You know, but we definitely. You know, I'll say this again and again, we have a lot of potential. You know, I've had teams where I couldn't say that. With this team, we got some guys that can score a lot of big points. But a lot of things need to come together, and we need to recognize that that's work, and there's a big challenge ahead of us. We go on the road next week with Northern Colorado and the Reno tournament, so it's going to give us a chance to evaluate a little bit more and maybe pick up a few more matches. So some of the things that I'm kind of a little bit anxiety with that we're not doing is a lot of it's just because, you know, we got guys with records of 2-2 and 4-1. Just, you know, 5 matches is not enough, you know. But after we go to Northern Colorado and Reno, we'll get a little better grip on where we're going.
How important in a rivalry like this is it for your seniors to perform like they did?
Well, I think it's, you know, it's you know, you remember a few things, right? As an athlete, you remember big football games, or remember good big wrestling matches, or, you know, and then you remember what happens in the Big 12, you know, and you remember what happens in the NCAA championship. Well, Bedlam is one of those matches you remember, you know. Some of these guys have never lost one, and they're going to go through here for 4 years and never lose one. And that hadn't been done. I don't think that's ever been done. So, you know, those are things that, you know, one day when you're, you know, a little older, you can throw it in someone's face, you know. So.
Obviously, a lot of Oklahomans on your roster, but to see a guy from the East Coast in Michelini open up this duel with a pin, a first-minute pin, to really set the tone for Bedlam, how big was that for you guys to see that from him?
Well, it was big. You know, it's the way you want to start. You know, it was he's hit a nice single leg shot, and he fed right into a cradle, ran him over, and then picked up the pin. We had a couple of guys that were running to the pin, and we got flipped over, got in some trouble. You know, just a little bit too excited about, you know, maybe forcing it too quick. But Nick did a nice job of just taking it nice and slow. He's got a heck of a grip, you know, and that's for 125 pounder. I mean, his grip is phenomenal, you know, and kept that grip and ran him right to his back. So I'm excited for Nick. You know, these are guys like Nick. You know, if you ever see him and you ever come in the room, you'll recognize real quickly he's one of the hardest workers in our room. You know, he leads by example every day.
After Wyoming, you talked about how a lot of the guys kind of started off slow and you wanted to see that improve. How do you think they changed from Wyoming?
I think a little bit better. I think we got guys trying to do things. You know, it's just like we have such high expectations in some ways that and you have to be. You know, if you're, you know, I mean, if you're patting people on the back for, you know, a poor job, then, you know, you're wasting your time thinking you can challenge for something. but I see the trying, I see the effort tonight. It wasn't what I wanted necessarily, but I just love the effort. You know, give me effort and we'll figure it out as we go along. But it's when the effort's not there, that's when, you know, the bright light shines in my face and going, what's going on here? So we had a lot of effort tonight. I like the close matches, even though some of them were ugly, like Dakota Geary and I think even Andrew Chambers. I liked what I saw, you know, in those two matches, and I liked at 65 with Chandler. Guy looked like he was being really competitive, and Chandler picking up that second takedown at the end of the first period, was it? Chandler, you picked, yeah, at the end of the first period, because it looked like it was a pretty competitive match, and he picked up that second takedown, took him to his back, and then pinned him, put him and held him on his back. You know, so when you think about a pin at the college level, you know, I mean, these are men. You know, that's big. And of course, Chandler was the lead of our team last year at pins with 11. So, great example of holding the guy on his back.
With this being nationally televised, how influential can a dominating performance like this be, you know, when it comes to recruiting, stuff like that, people seeing this type of performance nationally?
Yeah, you know, no, I mean, everything is nice for your program when you get exposure like that, and then you take advantage of that opportunity like we did tonight. It's big, you know, but, you know, still, there's 3 or 4 programs that we're butting heads with on recruits, and we're falling short on it more than we're winning, and that's where we got to make up the difference. You know, so that's just how it is and what it is, and somewhere you got to make up the difference, and we got to figure that out as we go along.
Anything else for Coach?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.